What's up, folks? I'm Private Hudson, and today we're going to be taking a look at New Hampshire, exclusively released for the United States of America. What year? I forget. It was one of the originals, right? Anyways, so a couple weeks ago was my birthday, and my fiance and I, we went up to New Hampshire to. I took the week off of work, and yeah, we just went up to New Hampshire. It was had a very lovely time. It's a very beautiful state. Not many people there, which is a good thing in my opinion, because I can't stand people. So yeah, we did a lot of hiking, some trails, climbed up a mountain, which my fat ass was barely able to do after, spending a year and a half in lockdown here. But yeah, it was a really, really nice time. I only saw two homeless people during the entire time there, which is, pretty impressive because here in New York City, there's like a violent crackhead or a homeless person harassing you. Well, what's the difference? I suppose the crackhead might have a home, but either way, you're gonna find that on like pretty much every other block. So getting away from all that was definitely nice. And yeah, just being around nature and being almost bitten to death by mosquitoes was lovely too. It was super nice there. At one point, we ran into another New Yorker. This was a bit of an older gentleman, possibly, in his middle ages. And he was basically like, what you guys doing here from New York? I'm like, we're just taking a vacation here, seeing the sights, seeing nature. He's like, you what, New Hampshire? Just New Hampshire? You ain't go down to Boston? I'm like, we've been to Boston before. We went there in the past. It was definitely nice, but no, this time we're just up here in New Hampshire. He's like, not the rest of the New England, just New Hampshire? I'm like, yeah, just New Hampshire. He's thinking, what the hell are you dumbasses doing up here where there's nothing but aside from, nature? Like, shit there is open from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 3 days a week. So yeah, there's not a lot to do unless you really like nature. And I'm definitely not fit for that, but I wish I was. And so this guy, he's like, come here, listen. Paisan, you from New York, I'm from New York. I'll tell you the secret of New Hampshire, all right? All right, so you got to take the I-95. You got to take it up 100 miles up to Conway, That's where you want to be. You don't want to be here. You want to be up there in Conway. Now, once you get to Conway, you're going to look for Uncle Ed, all right? He don't talk, but you'll know him when you see him. You'll see his trailer. Knock on it 3 times. Uncle Ed is going to come out, and he's going to show you where to find the Chungus Bungus Highway. And I'm standing there. I wasn't sitting. I'm standing there, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, this guy's like, oh, yeah, some tourists. Let me have my fun with them. I don't see people outside my state at all, if ever. Let me have some fun with them. He's like, yeah, you really want to go to this Chungus Bungus Highway, all right? It's going to be like 50 miles long. And it's going to have rivers and trees and all this shit. And bring a bathing suit so you can go swimming, all right? I'm telling you this. This is going to be our little secret. This is the secret of New Hampshire. And because you guys are the only ones around here who knows what good pizza is. I'm like, all right, well, check out this Kankamungus Highway, which is what it's really called. Kankamungus, humongous, big chungus. I don't know. But yeah, we did, like drive through it and had no cell service because it's up in the middle of nowhere. Which I didn't know that was going to happen. If I knew there was going to be no cell service up there, probably would have researched, what spots there are where you can just like hop off. And yeah, there's like a rock slide that you can swim in. I mean, it's not a rock slide, but it's a bunch of stones and a lake and a waterfall, and you can go break your face and your back in it if you choose to, and some scenic spots. And overall, it was really nice. It was super nice. I loved every minute of it. I was sad to leave. I'm sad I'm back here. I wish I could stay there forever. Because it was a really nice state, and picked up a lot of video games up there. One of the great things about the state of New Hampshire is there is no sales tax. So when you see a game for $10, it's $10. There's none of this 8.25 or whatever the hell we have to pay over here in New York City. There, it's just what you see is what you pay. I got this duffel bag. But before we get to that, we did stop by a store here locally before we left, Brooklyn Video Games, and got some stuff there as well. This is basically my fiance's birthday gift to me. So yeah, let's take a quick look through these. This is going to be exciting for me too, because I kind of don't remember what I bought. I just know it was a lot of stuff. And maybe I'll just give my 2 cents on some of these games, if I knew them, why I bought them, stuff like that. All right, so these are the titles that picked up at Brooklyn Video Games. We got Sydney 2000 for the Sega Dreamcast. I never played it. I don't think it has good reviews. Why did I get it? Because it's a Dreamcast game. And I would like to get a full Dreamcast set sometime. I already have some of the heavy hitters, like Illbleed, Skies of Arcadia, D2, but that's missing the manual. So whenever I see a Dreamcast game that I don't have that is affordable, I will buy it. Which can segue into Expendable. Now this I did play before. It wasn't very good, but again, it's an affordable Dreamcast game, and I haven't played this in like 15 years. Maybe my opinion on it has changed. I also picked up a cardboard sleeve copy of Solfice for the Sega CD. This is just in some wrapped in plastic right now, just for protection, because the cardboard is, cardboard. But this is actually a pretty good game for the Sega CD, and it's got an awesome soundtrack. I was surprised to see this, and I'm glad I picked this up. Picked up 2 PS1 games because they were $3. Got Mobile Armor and Steel Rain. These are both look like some generic tank games. I don't know. $3. Why not? Then we got Virtua Fighter Evolution 4, or is it Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution? Of course, why wouldn't it be? I think the last Virtua Fighter game I played was 3TB for the Dreamcast. I never played this. I picked this up because, hey, it's a Sega game, it's cheap, why not? Don't have it. I picked up something that I really was excited about, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11. This is my favorite game in the series, and I've played a lot of them. I played 4 for PC when I was a kid. I do have it for the Saturn now. I played 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on Steam, but this is probably my favorite one. And this one, you do, well, first of all, I'm a crazy fucking addict when it comes to Dynasty Warriors and Three Kingdoms shit in general. Because I have like almost every Dynasty Warriors. I mean, it's a long story. Maybe one day we'll get into it. But let's not go too far. But during the PS2 era, they had some games with RPG mechanics where you would play as like a character and you could do your own thing, and others where it was like the old school system where you play as a ruler. This was one of the ruler ones, even though I preferred not to have that kind of responsibility. I'd rather just be some dude taking orders But if you're an officer, your ruler would never give you good orders. Anyways, this was really fun. This was really good. This was my favorite one. It finally had 3D graphics, unlike the other ones. I think the only con about it I had were those bandit raids from the four corners of the map. Those bandits were really freaking OP. Okay. Rise of the Kasai. I never heard of it before. It was cheap, and it's got some big dude and some chick with big tits. Oh, it says something about Mark of Cry on the back. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. I have Mark of Cree or Mark of Cry. I don't know how to pronounce that. If you have to play it, but yeah, we got Hack and the Power of JoJo. Again, this is a PS2 platformer. I've never played this, but most PS2 platformers were pretty damn good. I mean, they were all above average, I would say. You know, you had your Jack and Daxter, you had your Ratchet and Chungus, so I imagine Tag is a decent game. Got Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlords. This looks like, I mean, I'm sure I have some version of this on Steam, or perhaps this series, continue to have sequels. But yeah, it's like a match 3 RPG. I like those kinds of games, so I didn't even know this came out for the PS2, so that's cool. Got Malice. I believe this is another, like, third-person platformer action-adventure game. Again, these are all pretty decent on the system, and it was cheap. Okay, something that was a little more expensive, but I'm glad I picked up. La Pucelle Tactics. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, and I apologize if the camera is a little shaky. I did get a new camera as well, the Elgato Face Cam, and the mount on it isn't all that secure if you're putting it on top of a monitor, so forgive me for that. Yeah, so this is La Pucelle Tactics. This is a strategy RPG. I've never played it, but I actually forgot this existed, but then I saw this in their little glass case, and it was a good price. I'm like, yeah, add that to the pile. We got Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath for the Xbox. I think this was re-released on Steam, along with the other Xbox Oddworld game. The only Oddworld I actually played was the very first one on the PS1, and the only reason I remember playing it is because of the farting mechanic. Again, I was a kid, so if it's got farts, I'll probably find it funny and probably find it memorable, which in this case I certainly did. And then we got Corvette for the Xbox. Some racing game. It was $5. I'm also trying to get a full North American complete Xbox set. So, yeah, that's why I picked it up. It looks okay, I guess. Alright, I think I'll start off with the stuff in the side pockets first, and then we'll move on to the other goodies. Okay, so what do we have here? First up we have Rad Racer for the NES. I have the sequel, even though I was looking for the first one, so now I have the first one. Good for me. We got Zelda 2, everyone's favorite Zelda game, the side-scroller one for the NES. Yeah. The Adventure of Link. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But sure. Got Athena. SNK. This is one of my favorite characters in the King of Fighters series, because she's got her own really cool song. I think they play it with vocals in like King of Fighters 96 and 98, or was it 97 and 98? Don't really remember, but YouTube that shit. That song is bitching, because when you fight her, when you fight her team rather, they always play that song in the background, and it's really freaking good. Really good. It sucks that on the Saturn version, because I have the Saturn version, You know, when you beat a fighter, it loads the next fighter, but the song also restarts. So that's kind of a bummer. All right. Moving on. We got Marble Madness. This is a classic. I used to play this as a kid. Um, yeah, it's Marble Madness. Who hasn't played Marble Madness? All right, what else have we got here? We got oh, Final Fight for the Super Nintendo. This feels light. Yeah, it's I mean, it's an okay port. I did play this back in the day. I thought it was really impressive, but then I saw how much better the actual arcade version was, so I kind of lost respect for it. Kind of preferred the Sega CD version after, but I don't have the Sega CD version, and this was cheap, so why not? Now, this came from another store. Oh, actually, wait, let me finish. This one came from the first store as well. As you can see, these don't have the dust covers. Another store just gave you a dust cover with every NES purchase. This is Simon's Quest. Again, Zelda 2 is everyone's favorite Zelda game, and Simon's Quest is everyone's favorite Castlevania game. Yeah, because, you know, it would be a terrible night to have a curse or something, or whatever the hell he says. Yeah, like the AVGN did a video about this like 80 years ago, and I saw it 80 years ago, and I've been kind of watching him ever since. So yeah, it'll be fun to actually play through Simon's Quest for once. If I ever decide to do so. I don't really have time for video games anymore, unfortunately. Alright, let's move on. Yeah, so this store, you know, they give you a, you know, dust sleeve cover, whatever the hell you want to call it, with like every purchase. Here we got the OG Wizardry. The only Wizardry game I ever played was the one for the PS2. This is Proving Grounds of the Mad Lord. Yeah, I don't know. It was cheap and whatever. Then we got the OG Castlevania, and which comes with the manual too, which was nice. Yeah, this was in like a glass case. I didn't even see the manual, but when the lady, you know, it's like, oh yeah, let me get that Castlevania, and you know, she lifted the cartridge up, manual was under it, and she packaged this with the dust cover. So yeah, OG Castlevania, happy to have this classic game. We got the Punisher for the NES. Ooh, this is I like this game. It's been a while since I've played it, and I kind of don't know what the consensus is nowadays. I remember because it's one of those like, it's not a first-person shooter, but you know, it's like a scrolling shooter. You scroll through the level and you just shoot shit. And I remember just shooting a bunch of fucking jazz musicians and shit. But I think this was a good game. I might be wrong, but I have played this and I did like it, and I am happy to have a copy finally. Then we got Mylon's Secret Castle. I had heard of this game before, but at the time of this purchase, I had forgotten, and then I remembered, okay, it's another AVGN video. This is one of those, the lady told me at the counter, is like, oh yeah, this is one of those games where it looks fun and cute and good, but then it's one of these like obtuse games where you gotta do random weird shit to progress, and it's like impossible to play unless you have a guide. And I'm like, it's $10. Fuck it. All right. Moving on. We got, ooh, something that needs a new jewel case. This is one of the greatest games of all time, and I am so happy to have this. This is motherfucking Courier Crisis, dude. Courier Crisis. This is the shit. Damn, and this was $9, dude. Courier Crisis for $9. Highly recommend this game. It's really good. We got the Wanchai connection for the Sega Saturn, and I This is the same store as the one where I was getting those NES games with the dust covers and shit. And basically anything here in this store. This also needs a new Geo case. Damn it. That's unfortunate, but whatever. Basically, in this store, anything that did not have a price on it was $5. This did not have a price on it, and I confused this with another Saturn game. They had a small section, well, not small, but they had a section of PC Engine CD and Sega Saturn Japanese games. And I stood there for maybe 30 minutes going through all of them, trying to find one that wasn't some fucking JRPG that needed, mastery of the Japanese language to play. Unfortunately, they all were. And I confused this game with something else. I don't remember what that game is called. I could have swore it was this, but it was some other sort of cop game that was like a first-person shooter or something. It was not this. This is like a full-motion video game. You need Japanese to play it. And when I brought it up to the counter, the woman was like, very interesting taste in games. What can I say? And then we got ESPN NBA Tonight for the Dreamcast. Again, this was that store, $5 Dreamcast game. That's one down the list. So that works for me. Anyway, let me try to get another pile out. Alright, I don't have that much space on my desk, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But I will give it my best. We got Romance of the Three Kingdoms 6 for the PS1. This one is cool because there's no disc. So you get a big old fat boy manual. There's only one disc in here, but it's a double CD because of the big fat manual. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 6 is like the only one I've never played. I don't think the PC version came out in America. I believe the only American version that came out was the PS1 version, which I've never played. So happy to have this in my collection now as well. We got Andretti Racing for the Genesis. $5. Genesis is something I'm also collecting for. So if it's affordable, even though I don't have space, I will get it. Yeah. I guess that's the nicest way of putting it. Prize Fighter, Sega CD. Yeah, this case is almost as beat up as this dude's face. I don't know what's worse, but it's a Sega CD case. Sega CD cases and Saturn cases are all fucking broken as shit. So, this comes with the territory. But yeah, it's a meh FMV game, but it's a Sega CD. And yeah, Sega Saturn. We got Pebble Beach Golf Links, $5 Sega Saturn game. I probably will never have a full NA Sega Saturn set. But cheap Saturn game, I'll buy it. I think you're kind of getting, should be getting the hint now. If it's like a cheap Sega game, then I'll probably buy it. Alright, what else we got? So these are all now coming from different stores. Some of these also came from that, store with the Castlevania, with the dust covers and stuff, but there were like 3 or 4 other stores, including a Goodwill, which this had MX versus ATV Untamed. These are pretty decent games. And it was $4. No tax. Why not? This was pretty dope. This is Ys Memories of Chungus Timeless Adventure Edition. So this is used, but like the art book and soundtrack inside here are still sealed. So picking this up for like half the price of a new copy, it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. I have some Ys games. I've never played any of them, so. Alright, moving on. All right, so that Goodwill had a couple of, it had another MX versus ATV Unleashed. Had some Bungus ATV Off-Road Fury. $3. All right, so this was from okay, this was from that same store with the NES dust covers. I've never heard of this before. This is called Monachemia Alchemists of Al Revis. Or is it? I don't know. Sometimes I say mana, sometimes I say mana. How do you folks say it? I think mana sounds better. But yeah, this is yeah, the case is all fucked up sadly, but stickers you can kind of peel off, or I'll find some old Madden game and just take the the sleeve off and just replace the case, so that's fine. Yeah, this is some RPG. I never heard of it. I like RPGs, so I got it. All right, what else we got? Oh, another one. This is Makai Kingdom Chronicles of the Sacred Tome. It's another PS2 RPG that I never heard of. So yeah, I picked it up. It looks good. Another game I never heard of. Daisen Ryaku Exceed 7 Modern Military Tactics. I mean, I've heard of most PS2 games, but this is 3 in a row that I've never heard of. This looks like some, RTS, RPG type of thing. Well, it's probably turn-based strategy. But, it's got some cool screenshots on the back. Reviews were pretty decent, so why not? This was one of those $5 games because there's no price tag on it. I'll take it. All right. We got Siphon Filter, the Omega strain, with a really siphon filtered cardboard cover. Yeah, I believe this was a PSP port. Got that. And also got Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, which I believe is another PSP port. Oh yeah, it even says right there, IGN's 2006 PSP Game of the Year comes to the PlayStation 2. Right, as I continue trying to take games out of this duffel bag without breaking anything, we got Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football. This got voices in it. And I believe I picked up the first Sports Talk Football as well. To be fair, I was actually looking for a copy of some of these. They had a bunch of Sports Talk games for the Genesis, and I was looking for some of them, so I'm glad I saw that. I got Streets of Rage 2. Sadly, it doesn't have the manual. This is like the only boxed game I bought that did not have a manual. But the price was okay, just for the box and cart. Yeah, I had to. I just had to. Got Lotus 2. Great game. I think this originally came out on the Amiga. And I think on the Amiga this was like Lotus 3 or some shit. I don't know, but this is a pretty solid game. Oh, this is why I came all the way to New Hampshire for, dude. Freaking Barkley, shut up and jam, dude. Charles Barkley is one of the greatest people of all time. He's one of my heroes. One of these days I'm gonna go one of those TNT live tapings with him and Shaq and Ernie and the other dude. I'm gonna come up there with this game. I'm gonna be like, Chuck, I want you to sign it. That's one of my life goals. Right. Got a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a shitload of fucking stickers on it. This is for the PS2. It's developed by Konami. Might be good. I think the reviews for this were decent. I think that's why I picked it up. We got messed up box that doesn't even close. That's a DVD case. PS2 case. But Torino 2006, $2. I I don't know why I got this. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is interesting enough for $2. At the same time, this was also $2, but this is Breeders' Cup. No, it's not what you think. Okay, it's not a bunch of horses doing the horsey thing. It's the World Thoroughbred Championships. This is a horse racing simulator, and it was $2, and I know there's a pretty rare Saturn game that's a horse racing simulator. This one is probably not rare, but I was just intrigued by it. I mean, if you look on the back, you got these horses racing. The shit can be intense. Own, bet, race, win. Action so realistic you'll forget it's a game. And that kind of just sold me. I'm like, I can get this. Oh my god, race calling by Breeders' Cup announcer Tom Durkin. Fuck, dude, I want to play this right now. Bethesda. Dude. This is the fucking precursor to Skyrim. Holy shit. This must be a gold mine. Must be a legendary game. Okay, before I just continue on with that, let's move on. We got a gun for the OG Xbox. A game I was actually looking for. Forgotten Realms Demon Stone for the OG Xbox. This looks like a pretty sick, like third-person action RPG. This looks pretty dope. I am glad I found this. All right, moving on to the next pile. Okay, I think this is the rest of the stuff that was in the duffel bag. So we can probably finish this one in one take. As long as I don't drop anything when I try to pick it up. All right. We got the first driver game, which I'm surprised I did not own. Apparently, I only owned Driver 3, or Drive 3er for the Xbox, which was a bad game. This one is supposed to be good. And since I was getting that one, I figured, might as well pick up Driver 2. Might as well. Also picked up Fear Effect 2. Fear Effect was a awesome game, hard as hell, pretty short. But man, I love the graphics in it. I played that so long ago. I do have the OG Fear Effect. I saw this Fear Effect 2. And I was like, $50. Well, at first I didn't see the price tag. This was from that same nice lady in that store with the NES dust covers and the $5 game for no price tag, the Wanchai Connection shit. And I saw this in like behind the case. I'm like, oh, yeah, Fear Effect 2. Let me see that shit. And I see it's like $50. I'm like, I like Fear Effect and all, and it's $50. It's a bit out of my price range. And she's like, you're buying all this shit, buying all this weird stuff. Give it to you for like 35. I'm like, all right, 35 is better than 50. So yeah, that was really cool of her. I think that was like one of the most expensive games on here. Everything else was fairly affordable. Well, 35 is still affordable. We got Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires because, again, Dynasty Warriors. We got Genji Days of the Blade. I believe I have the disc only copy of it in like a sleeve somewhere. There was like a Genji PS2 game. Didn't play it. Never played this one either. But I got it. Here's one that I am so happy I got. I got a sealed copy of motherfucking Duck Dynasty, dude. Duck Dynasty for the PS3. I am so happy I got this shit. Because I've been looking for this for a while. This came out on, I believe it was on Steam, but it got delisted. It was also out on Xbox One and PS4. And then, you know, you had the old console ports to the 360 and PS3. So this is the PS3 version. You know, unfortunately, it's not going to have the super high 4K fucking visuals of Willie and the rest of these people, if that's what you can call them. But I do think this is a hidden gem. This is something you get like super drunk for and play it, because I have watched gameplay of this and it did look good. It did look good. This is genuinely something that I'm willing to play. And of course, you know, it's sealed. I am going to open it. It's not like this is worth anything if I keep it sealed forever. They had like 5 other sealed copies of it. We got Warriors Orochi 2. Again, Dynasty Warriors related. Don't need to say anymore. If it's Koei, if it's Dynasty Warriors, if it's Samurai Warriors, if I haven't played it, I am going to buy it. Well, if I don't own it, I'm going to buy it. Area 51 for the Xbox. I played this on PS2 before. The PC version is free. But this is the game with David Duchovny and Marilyn Manson. I really love the intro of this game back when I played it on the PS2, but then it kind of falls apart when you get like those alien powers or some shit. It's been such a long time since I played it. And David Duchovny's voice acting in it is pretty shit. It's like he's sleeping through the fucking script, through his lines. But, you know, I'll play it again. Why not? Here's something that I am surprised I did not own. And let me push this back in. Or, there we go. Enter the Reckoning. Have not played this, heard fantastic things about it, happy to have it. We got Devil Kings for the PS2. This is like Capcom's version of Samurai Warriors. This takes place during the Sengoku period. But the Japanese version has like all the original historical figures, like Oda Nobunaga and Akechi Mitsuhide and whatnot. But for the American version, they decided to fuck it all up and give everyone fake names and make them all look retarded. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. But I believe the Japanese version is called Sengoku Basara. And I'm probably going to pick that up one day. And maybe even do a side-by-side comparison of this and that. Because I'm just that kind of person who cares so much about this period of history. Yeah. For both, like, the Three Kingdoms period for China and the Sengoku period for Japan. Right, we got Singularity for the Xbox. Does the Steam version ever go on sale? I feel like it doesn't. It's like every time there's a Steam sale, this is like still $25 there. This is probably not a great game, but I've been looking for it for a while, so I'm happy to have it. All right, we got Liberty City Stories for GTA. Oh, for GTA, what the fuck? For the PS2, this is a PSP port. I played a little bit of it. I mean, it doesn't look as good as like GTA 3 and stuff, you know, because it's a PSP game, but, you know, still pretty good. Got AVP Extinction for the Xbox. I forgot this game existed, and it's probably not good. This is a strategy game. This is probably a stinker. This was from the store in Connecticut. But, I mean, come on. I'm Private Hudson. How can I not buy this? All right, we got Tactics Great Juju Challenge. It's another TAC game. I showed the PS2 one like 50 minutes ago when I started making this video. Again, this is the Xbox version. This is, I think, the second or third one in the series. So yeah, so I got that. Got True Crime New York City. I have the LA one. Haven't played it, but you know, this has Snoop Dogg. I heard these were okay. Right, I got the OG Warriors Orochi for the PS2. You know, before I showed Warriors Orochi 2. This is the first Warriors Orochi. I have this a scratched up, unplayable copy for the Xbox. I also have one of those fancy Chungus Bungus resurfacing machines, which I have yet to use, but that'll probably revive that copy that GameStop sold me. And alright, I think we're approaching the end here. This is also from that same store with that lady who gave the dust covers and all that other stuff. Like, I bought this Super Nintendo game and she, you know, packaged it in like this plastic case. And this is just a regular old copy of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. You know, this was 15 bucks. This was mediocre game. This is like Babby's first RPG. But, you know, I already have Final Fantasy 3, aka Final Fantasy 6. But you know, I saw this. I'm like, this is affordable. I'll get it. And yeah, it's cool that she included like protective shit for all the stuff there. It's really nice of her. And oh, looks like I'm ending it on a not very interesting note. I probably should have sorted these a little better when I was taking them out. But we got Shanghai 2 Dragon Eye for the Sega Genesis. This is some Mahjong shit. Ooh. Surrender to a 3,000-year-old obsession. Ancient fascination of Mahjong meets the cutting edge of video games in the most captivating strategy game to challenge the Western world. Here we go. The original Sports Talk Football 93 starring John Montana, and all 28 NFL teams. Oh man, it's like a brick in here. What's right? It's got some dude's business address, and I would assume cheat codes. Don't know why this was in here, but it's also has got a brick of a manual in there. Okay, and last game to end this on. It's none other than Championship Pool. Yeah, I should have like you know, probably rearranged this somewhat, but I was just pulling him out of the duffel bag. You can't blame me. I'll see you folks next time.